Welcome to Public Interface. I'm Mark. We're here in New Orleans for the MVP Summit and Sitecore Symposium. I got Dan Solovay, Chris Sulham, and Mark Servais. So tell me, guys, when we were at the MVP Summit, you know, we're there. We have intimate access with Sitecore. What were you guys in to get out of it for those 2 days?
Obviously, as an MVP, we get a kind of an early look. Sometimes it's a very short early look. Sometimes it's a longer look. But we get a sense of how the product's going to evolve, how we can change and coordinate ourselves with that as partners. So, you know, picking the brains of everyone at Sitecore during that time, it's a really intimate setting. It gives me quite a bit of information to go home, plot, plan, and think about things coming up. I mean,
what was the hot topic?
The hot topic, I mean, for me, it has to be Azure, right? I mean, that's the future. That's where everything's going. I mean, it's maybe stumbling its way there in a few situations, but I think 5 years from now, we're not going to see like traditional web hosting anymore. It's going to be mostly in these cloud-based services.
I've definitely seen a couple people ask me about it, so that's what they were really looking for. Dan, what were you able to get out of the summit while we were there?
Oh, the biggest thing for me, and it's not a technology thing, it's just the relationships that we all continue to build with our fellow MVPs and with the Sitecore technical and product community. It's really a special thing that Sitecore does to bring us together every year, and I find those contacts to really turn into people you know and turn into real friendships. And then, you know, when you're spending a couple of days with good friends and really good technology, you learn a lot. So it all plays together really well.
I really want to get an idea of what you guys were feeling from customers that were coming by.
well, you know, I'm seeing clients. You know, I had one client in particular come in, and he's actually from my neck of the woods, and he's like going, well, you know, we're on 6.5 right now, and you know, so it's kind of like, I think they want to kind of play in the game, right? I mean, they feel like they're kind of been behind for whatever reason, budgets, whatever, and they just want to. Here's all this new stuff coming. We're seeing a phenomenal change with 8.2. We see some of the preview of what's coming. So I now need to get on board. I need help getting on board, right? It's like our shirt says, you know, the upgrades are coming, right?
And what about the keynote? We got Jason Silva. He's up there. You can tell he's all energy. What do you guys think about that guy's keynote?
Oh, I loved it. I thought, how can I use this in my own presentation? One of the things that I found really great was that, you know, I have these moments where I'm quoting someone and I get a little embarrassed about, oh, well, actually, this is something someone else said. And whenever he quoted someone, you felt you were really excited to hear the person he was quoting. And I thought, I need to bring some of that energy into my talk.
That was very William Shatner-ish, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, they clearly got him here to get everybody like fired up and like inspired, and that was like the whole point of his message, right? Like thinking to the future, and you know, we are the new gods and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I'm sure this applies to digital marketing too in a smaller way, but.
What about the second keynote, the gamification touch you?
I felt it was excellent, right? Because I've been doing a lot of reading about the frontal cortex of the brain and how memory is stored and everything else. So now we're talking about the other regions of the brain a little bit, and happiness, pleasure, depression, and how that all ties in together. I really like her approach to it. I really like the approached science behind it, and you know, it's something to think about. How do we put that into what we do? I think that's something we need to think about.
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of see what they were going for with both of the speakers, even though like I made a joke earlier about like how do I apply this to digital marketing. It's this whole thing about just understanding how human beings think and how we like, you know, connect with each other and have fun. And if you can like just, you know, extract a little bit of that from, you know, what these two speakers were saying and sort of apply that to the work you're doing, you're going to be like that much more successful. You're going to make an impression on somebody, and then they're going to come back hopefully to, you know, for more.
All right, and I know Dan, yeah, you're giving a presentation today. I know you got a lot of pressure on you, but what else besides your own talk? What's the talk that should not be missed?
Two things really jumped out at me. One, and I was glad it's something we can talk about now because we kind of heard about it under the cone of silence during the MVP Summit, but what's happening with XConnect, really making XDB something that can talk to just a whole range of services. They're doing the kind of things that you saw with Sitecore 7 with those link statements where you could grab small pieces of information from your search queries. Now you'll be able to do that with XDB. That's coming in 8.3, so we have to wait a bit, but that looks very promising. Something we can play with right now is the data exchange framework, DXF, I believe, are the initials. And what that's going to give us is a standardized, item-based Sitecore set of pipelines that we can use to, let's say, pull information from a CRM into XDB, or from a PIM into product information system into Sitecore items. Really, wherever your data is coming from or going to, we'll have a standardized framework to build upon.
And right now, as it stands, at the end of the symposium, how is Sitecore standing right now compared to its competitors?
One of the things I liked about what I was hearing this year, and I think they took this from the feedback they got from the last symposium 2 years ago, is Sitecore is embracing the trends in technology right now. I mean, we saw some of that with what they were doing in the Skunk Works that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about, but they're definitely forward thinking on that, in that respect.
You can say forward thinking.
Yeah. They were certainly forward thinking. They're seeing where technology is going, and they're looking to see how they can apply that to what they're doing. And one of the things, if you've been working in a platform for a long time, you may tend to stagnate, right? The technology keeps moving, but the platform is stable. They have a lot of customers. They don't want to rock the boat too much. Sitecore is saying, well, you know, we're rocking the boat. So get on board, or you're going to be left behind. And I actually really like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about some of the things that we're going to be introducing. You know, overall, I mean, the slow shifts into .NET Core, the embracing of some of the things that are going to be happening as far as the front end. There is a lot that's going to happen going forward, and how can you not want to be part of that? How can you not want to jump in? You know what? It's going to take a little bit of work. You know, it's time to roll up the sleeves, and it's time to get going.
The thing that really I find almost moving as a developer is the way that they continually go back to their core foundation and make it healthier and stronger. And I'll be talking about this in my talk, but they've added a whole layer of abstractions. Sorry for the technical verbiage, but virtual methods. What these do is these allow developers to play and control the stuff they work with much more power, stuff that really helps developers. And the fact that we have a voice as developers in the discussion, in addition to the marketers and the people who want new features, that to me gives me real confidence as a developer. This is a place to continue, you know, honing my craft.
Yeah, and this is going to accelerate. You mentioned the virtual methods and kind of the new things going on in that arena that is going to be part of the basis of your talk. It's going to make things faster. I mean, we're going to be able to start turning things around a little bit quicker. They're not going to be as cumbersome. They're not going to feel as clumsy.
Well, that was one of the other, like, you know, tertiary points maybe that they were pushing in this conference, is that they're trying to accelerate the time from when you can go to conception to reality with this platform. And they're doing that in multiple levels, and one of them is enabling, you know, people like us to put things together and get them out the door faster.
Last question. We're in New Orleans. It's a great city. We've seen all the music. We've drank a lot of beer. What city do you want to see Symposium take next?
That's a tough one.
Tokyo. Let's do it.
I'm with you.
You know, I love to see a Chicago Symposium. I really would, man. I mean, that's my neck of the woods. Yeah, so it's a little partial, but that's a great city too. You know, there's a great music scene here, no doubt, and we've had a lot of fun. Chicago's it's pretty similar, right? So I'd like to do that. Plus, on, you know,
an hour flight.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to fly to Japan?
Well, I wouldn't mind Iceland either. You know,
Iceland would be great.
Yeah. I'm not going to answer the question because I asked for the MVP Summit to be in Copenhagen, and they ended up having another Sitecore conference in Copenhagen, and I didn't come out. And people said, Dan, where are you?
So you're saying you're a little bitter about that?
Well, other people are bitter.
They accommodate your wishes, and then you blow them off. Nice, Dan.
They all got pictures taken in front of that Sitecore lighthouse saying, Dan, you really should be here.
Hashtag, you're all talk. All right, thank you guys. Yeah. So that's our show. Follow us on Twitter at Velir. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, watch us next time as we implement another episode of Public Interface.